Hey, what's going on everybody? Like Butter here, bringing you another Division video today. We're going to be playing through one of the challenging missions solo here, but what I want to talk about is extremely excited. I'm really happy to bring this information to you. Now, for those of you who don't know what State of the Game is, it's a weekly show that the Division developers do on Twitch to talk about upcoming events and things we can look forward to. And they talked a little bit a few days ago about the 1.2 patch that's going to be coming out sometime this month. It doesn't have an exact date yet because they kind of pushed it back a little bit because they want to make sure that there isn't any problems at launch like there was with 1.1 with people using sticky bombs and other exploits to continuously get good gear over and over and over again without any consequences. So they want to make sure that it comes out and has none of those problems. So I'm thinking we can probably look forward to it being in between the 3rd and 4th week of May. But what they talked about was this new 201 plus gear score bracket that's going to be added into the Dark Zone that I'm so excited for. So for those of you guys who don't know that play the Division, maybe you don't spend a lot of time in the Dark Zone, but the Dark Zone is split up into brackets. Now the reason they added gear score not only is to let you know if you're have the required gear for certain missions, but to also differentiate a level 30 that just came out of the PvE area, just finished the campaign and just hit level 30 and is now exploring into the Dark Zone, from somebody like myself that has like 380 hours put into the game. That's obviously going to have a lot better gear than that first player. So in order to kind of split these people up and to kind of differentiate, that's why they put in gear score brackets. And there's going to be a new gear score bracket added, which is going to be 201 plus. So as most of you know, the highest one right now is 161 plus. And there's a lot of times where I go up against people that aren't very geared, that may be just at like 162 or 165, and it's not even a contest. It's just unbelievable how fast I just shred through them, and it's because I put the time, the effort, and the obviously the hours into making my gear better and improving my build. So in this new bracket, there's going to be a lot of changes made with the AI, with the loot drops and other stuff, and I want to explain that to you guys. So basically, in this 201 plus bracket, you're not going to have level 30s and 31s anymore. It's going to start at level 32s, so in DZ01 and DZ02, you're going to have level 32 enemies. In DZ03 and DZ04, you're going to have level 33 enemies. And then in DZ05 and DZ06, you're going to have level 34 enemies, meaning like the NPCs and the bosses and all that stuff. However, what this is going to do, which I'm really excited, is they're going to be dropping better weapons. I don't know if they announced any level 33 or 34 weapons, but I'm assuming there will be, considering that the level of the boss is supposed to drop that level weapon. That's one thing that they have to fix in this next patch. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the Dark Zone, you're mostly just getting 163 weapons, when in reality, you should be getting 204 and 182s and higher DZ levels, which you do not. So they're going to be fixing that. There's also going to be chances to get 240 gear pieces in the Dark Zone and some of the higher levels, like maybe in like supply drops and stuff like that. But they said it is possible to get 240 gear sets and 214 gear and all those higher level gear that you're gonna get. It's basically just gonna be a reward for going up against those really strong NPCs. Now the 201 plus bracket is going to be so lit. I cannot wait. There's going to be so many good players with high gear scores and playing or defeating the areas, kind of cleaning out the landmarks is going to be really difficult. Now I have a feeling they might add some other objectives into the Dark Zone. I know they said they're drastically working on improvements for the Dark Zone to continuously add stuff, so I think we might be able to see some sort of other global missions, kind of like the supply drops, because I think the reason that they're spreading out the supply drops each hour is because in between those they're going to add other events. So I'm so happy for 1.2. Hopefully you guys are as well. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys are the most excited for. So let me explain how to get into the 201 plus gear score bracket. Some of you guys may be like, oh, Drew, but I'm only like 195 or 194. Just so you guys know, if you're like myself, my gear score is what, 197, something like that. It's not very high, and it could be a lot higher if I were to put some guns on that didn't necessarily have great talents but have a bigger gear score. But the cool thing is that you don't need to do that. You do not need to put on gear that you don't want to use just to hit that level 201 gear score. If you have the gear in your backpack at some time, so say for example in your backpack you have a 204 weapon, it's going to automatically assume that that 204 weapon is what you're using in that slot. So if you have like a level 30 sniper and a level 30 pistol like I do, don't sweat it. Don't feel like you have to change your build to get to 201 plus. You will be able to do that if you have the gear in your backpack. So that's really cool. The reason they added that is so that people didn't like put on really bad gear score items just to go into lower level brackets and kind of mess with new players. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. Also, they're going to be upping the loot drop like insanely. They talked about lowering the performance mods and like all the mod drops, so make sure to stack up on those electronics, guys, because it's going to be a little bit harder to get electronics. But there's going to be higher weapon drops. There's going to be higher chances to get weapon drops with better talents on them as well in the higher levels. But not only the 201 plus bracket, the 160 and all the other brackets are getting a loot increase as well, which I'm sure a lot of people are excited about, because right now the stuff that you get in the Dark Zone, like I said, is just nothing that you want. And what Massive kind of wants is they don't want the best gear to come from crafting. They want crafting to be kind of a backup thing to do when you have a lot of stuff that you don't need or don't want. You can then break that stuff down and then have a chance at getting a good weapon or something like that. But now you're going to be finding more weapons in the Dark Zone with better talents and stuff, so you're probably going to find more of your gear than crafting more of your gear. So you'll have that good feeling of finding something that has really good talents rather than having to craft a bunch of, AUGs until you finally get the roll that you want. So I think it's definitely going in the correct direction. I'm really happy that they're doing that. They also talked about a ton of bug fixes that are going to be in the upcoming update, including the one is none bug. This is super frustrating bug that I run into a lot. Basically what happens is when you're shooting with one is none, basically means you have a 50% chance of hitting somebody in the head. It will not consume the bullet. And what happens is sometimes it glitches on one bullet, and then you have to switch guns and switch back for it to fix it. And that's super frustrating for people like myself who use one is none. So I'm happy that's fixed. They talked about moving daily missions to server side rather than client side. So this is going to fix those rotation problems that we've been having with daily missions, even though I don't really even need to do the daily missions anymore, because Phoenix credits, I just stay capped at 1,000 Phoenix credits. I definitely think they need to raise the cap from 1,000, because right now there's not really too much that I use Phoenix credits on. I think you should be able to use Phoenix credits to then purchase materials if you want. So maybe like for 100 Phoenix credits you can buy 10 gold fabric or 10 weapon parts or 10 tools, something like that. I really hope they find more things to use Phoenix credits on, because right now the only things you use Phoenix credits on are like new weapons that are in the base of operations, or new blueprints. But like the blueprints that you're getting most of the time these days are coming from the Dark Zone, so you're gonna be using Dark Zone currency instead of Phoenix credits. So hopefully they get that balanced out. And I'm just super excited. The 201 bracket is going to be so insane. It's going to be such high level play. so many players and groups, and like I can't wait for the PvP and the people fighting over though. You think people are fighting over supply drops now? Just wait. Like, people fight over the supply drops now, including our group, just for the gold division tech. That's another thing, actually. Apparently there's not going to be any blue or green division tech drops in the 201 plus as well. It's going to be mostly, if not all, gold division tech. So holy crap, this is going to be so awesome for the division. I definitely think people like myself that have been putting hours and hours and hours into the game are finally going to have a little bit more of a challenge when it comes to clearing NPCs and stuff. And you're going to see NPCs play a big part in gunfights a lot more often. Right now, sometimes you'll be into, you know, a massive gunfight, and then throughout the entire gunfight, there's just NPCs shooting you, which can be annoying, no doubt. But just imagine a level 34 shotgunner. I mean, you guys saw how strong the level 34 shotgunners are in the incursion, coming up and just wiping out a whole squad while they're in a gunfight. I think it's going to be pretty hilarious. You're definitely going to have to play a lot more tactically to work around NPCs. You're not really going to be able to just run by them like you are now. You're definitely going to have to, you know, deal with them in a way where, you know, you don't die. So I'm just unbelievably excited. What other bug did they talk about fixing? They're changing balance, by the way. I wanted to talk about this a little bit because, you know, some of you guys may not know the difference between what balance is now and what it is going to be. So what balance is now on like a sniper rifle or an assault rifle, basically what it does is it makes it so that when you shoot your weapon, you have no type of recoil or bloom on your cursor. It stays 100% accurate. So you can kind of just spam the M1A, like boom, 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 and you'll have no type of recoil at all. Well, you'll have kickback, you'll have recoil, but you won't have inaccuracy in between shots. There's like no cooldown on it centering. Like you see on my gun here, you know, I don't have balance on my sniper rifle. So you notice that when I aim my sniper, you know, it has this type of bloom before it settles. That's what's going to be the new balanced. And that's what I thought it was going to be originally, because if you look at the talent, what it says, it basically says when shouldering your weapon, you know, it has no type of recoil, or it says something around that. When shouldering your weapon, you aim down sights right away. So when you aim in with the sniper, that 1 second of bloom is not going to be there if you have balance. However, after you shoot bullets, it's going to have that bloom effect, that type of cooldown in between shots where, you know, the accuracy needs to resettle itself. So that's going to be really good for rogues or for people who are rogue hunters, because if you're, you know, chasing somebody, and you know how sometimes you want to tag them before their rogue runs out, but sometimes it's really hard because you have to wait that extra second for your gun to steady before you can shoot them. Well, with balance, you're going to be able to do that instantly now and instantly be aiming down your sights as fast as you want. It's very much like Quick Draw in Modern Warfare 2, if you guys remember that, how you could like sprint and then instantly aim down your sights after sprinting. So that's what the new balance is going to be. They're also fixing the reckless bug, which was a huge issue, and I think this is going to change PvP a lot. For those guys who don't know, like reckless right now, how it works is you would get like 13 or 13.5 extra damage, and you were supposed to take 10% extra damage, but instead you were taking 10% less damage. So that's getting fixed with the client side update, and I think that's going to be good because you're going to see a lot less glass cannons running around, because there's a lot of glass cannons that will run around. They'll do tons of damage, and they'll also be kind of hard to kill as well. I think them fixing this is going to fix that problem a lot. So if people want to run reckless, which by the way, I think reckless should definitely be used for tanks, when you don't have much damage on you and you want that extra 13%, but you don't mind taking the extra 10% because you're already tanky as it is. That's what's going to be made for those players. So I think it's going to be more used for tanks, which by the way, guys, we got tank meta coming up. I guarantee you, maybe not so much tank meta, but there's supposed to be a new gear set coming out with 1.2 called Juggernaut, and apparently the talents are 20% extra armor, which I'm assuming is going to stack on top of the 65% mitigation. And even if it doesn't, if you get that 20%, you can have less armor on mods and other stuff, and maybe put, you know, other stuff on those mods. So I'm hoping that it stacks though, because everyone and their sister is capped at 65% right now. So it's a bit difficult to find that to be, you know, useful. Now, it's another thing to think about, is that 20% armor going to be good for someone like myself who runs 4 sentries? Now, would 4 sentries to Juggernaut be good? I don't know. Right now, it seems like for the build that I'm going for 4 sentry and 2 tacticians. Now, the reason I'm going for the 2 tacticians is because I have a tactician's holster that's a 240 piece that has higher stamina and higher firearms than my other holster, because, you know, it's a 240 piece. It's got higher items, higher stats, that is. And it has no electronics, what's really cool about this is that I don't need the electronics, because I'm going to get the extra 4,000 skill power from the 2 tactician items. So I'm waiting to change that build when the new patch comes out and see it, and, you know, see how it is. But I'm not entirely sure if we'll keep that or not. Giving up Savage on gloves is going to be kind of sucky, but at the same time, I think the extra little bit of skill power with boosting my firearms and my stamina is going to be worth it. So yeah, I really am. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I got so sidetracked. I didn't tell you guys what the other ones were. So the first one is 20% extra armor. The second one is apparently like 20 or 30% exotic damage resilience, which is insane. That is crazy. So basically, like, explosive bullets and incendiary bullets and grenades aren't gonna damage you at all, because if you have 30% exotic damage resilience, or 20% or whatever it is, on top of the other 20, if you have like 40 to 50% exotic damage resilience, like, explosive rounds are gonna do half the damage than what they usually do, and you're tanky. So this is going to be a good build for you guys that want to build tank. I can't wait to see all the other builds that come out of it. And then I think the third one, sorry, the fourth set is like health on kill, but it's like, I don't know how accurate Reddit is. This is just on Reddit, you know. It might be wrong, but apparently when a teammate kills somebody, you get a percentage of health back. I don't know how it works. I think that's probably what it is. Like, if anyone in your squad gets a kill on like an NPC or something, it might heal you. I'm not sure though. We'll have to wait and see what the actual talent is. But whew, all right. Well, I just talked for a long time. This video is actually coming to an end, guys. Hopefully, you know, I gave you guys enough information in this video for you guys to walk away with a little bit, you know, more of an idea of what's going on. So yeah, we beat this on challenging mode. Solo. It was a little bit harder than I expected, and we died one time that I faded halfway in the vid. But anyways, if this video helped you out, please drop the video a like and let me know what you think in the comment section. I would love nothing more than a nice little discussion down here. You know, let's keep the Division stuff rolling. I'm so excited for the future of this game, and you know, with the reduce of hackers, I don't know if you guys noticed, they put out another ban wave recently that has like cut the hackers, like literally like gone, like cut them out of the game. So it's insane how much this game is improving, and Ubisoft is proving to us that they care. So, you know, thank you, massive thank you, Ubisoft, for caring and hearing about our complaints. So anyways, I've been Like Butter, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care, everybody.